Hello, Elly here from Thankful Flow Yoga today, and we are here today to do a creative power flow. So we're going to be getting creative and fluid with the movements today. So we'll be stretching, strengthening, building and increasing awareness within the body and the mind as we go through, hopefully leaving you with a sense of feeling recharge, reset, re-energized, and also a sense of relaxation at the end as well. So we're going to come down into a comfortable seated position to get started, and just grab any blocks or props you might need for the practice. I would recommend that this practice is suitable for someone who has an existing kind of yoga practice today. If you are newer to yoga, then definitely check out some of the other flows on this channel, the all levels flows. But yeah, if this is what you're here for today, then coming down into your seated position. We're going to bring the fingertips down to connect with the ground, and then begin to close your eyes or take a steady gaze out in front. And on your next inhale, I want you to imagine that you're drawing energy up from the ground into the body, all the way into the heart space. And as you exhale, just imagine releasing that energy all the way back down the body, all the way down until it reaches the ground. So inhale, imagine drawing that energy up slowly, drawing the energy up to your heart. And as you exhale, release and ground that energy back down the body, all the way back down into the ground. So inhale, drawing the energy upwards, all the way up to your heart center, spine's growing tall. And exhale, grounding the energy back down. On this exhale, letting go of anything that's no longer needed. Coming back to your natural breathing. And seeing if you can connect to this Svadhisthana, our second chakra today, which is linked in with our creativity. So sometimes if we feel we might have resistance to creativity or for doing things outside of what we usually might do, just observing today throughout this flow any thoughts, any feelings that come up. There's no judgment, there's no right or wrong. But when we look at Svadhisthana, this is all about flow. So this is moving like water, flowing with life, our ability to be flexible and flow with life, knowing that we have that stable grounding and foundation beneath us with Muladhara, our root chakra. So just observing this aspect of yourself today in this practice. If that feels good to, I invite you to just observe that part of yourself today during this practice if you can. And allow yourself to have some fun with it. We're not taking anything too seriously. Bringing a light-hearted element to your practice today as well if you can. So opening the eyes back up now, and we'll start to bring the hands together, interlace the fingers, and just warming up into the wrists, taking some circles here, going around in one direction, then come back in the other direction. Notice how the wrists are feeling. Releasing the hands, shaking it out, shaking off anything that came before this practice. And actually, before I set up to do this practice for you today, I was thinking about something that I sometimes need to remind myself of, and it's a really, really lovely one, and I thought I would share it with you guys. And it is remembering that nothing that is meant for you is going to pass you by. It's not going to come too soon, it's not going to arrive too late. You're just exactly where you're meant to be. You don't have to force anything. So from here, we are going to bring the hands to the backs of the thighs, and you can take them away if you wish to when you're ready. And before we move, we're just going to take a big shoulder roll, open across the chest, and then draw your belly button in towards the spine. So thinking about keeping this activation that we've got here through the core. And then gently we're going to start to rock back, so taking some little rock and rolls. So you can either have the hands on the backs of the thighs or you can take them away. And on your next rock, I want you to come into cross-legged position on your mat. Inhale here, reach the crown of your head to the ceiling. As you exhale, walk the hands forwards into a little fold. Doesn't matter how low or high you are in your fold. Take a deep breath here, notice the hips. Maybe scanning into the lower back. Walk the hands back in. We're going to take another rock and switch the legs over, so it's the opposite cross this time. So rock back. Switch it around, probably on your least natural feeling side now. Inhale, make space, reach the crown of the head upwards. Exhale, fold forwards, walk the hands forwards. Maybe coming down onto the forearms, or maybe you're completely reaching kind of forwards, letting the chest drop down. Again, feel into what feels right for you. Maybe dropping the head here, feeling an opening into the back of the neck, the upper back. Notice your breath. Notice how your breathing feels today. Inhale, walk the hands back in. Now we're going to take another rock back, and this time we're going to come to a straddle position. So take your rock back and open out the legs. I'm going to twist to the side slightly so you can still see me. And we're going to flex the feet. We want the thighs to be facing upwards. Inhale, reach the crown of the head up. Exhale, take your fold here. Just remembering we're at the beginning of the practice. So being mindful of just letting the body start to open up. So try and keep your thighs facing up towards the ceiling. Breathing here. Opening into that hip space. Center for creativity, for flow. Thinking about water-like movements. Inhale, walk the hands back in. Then on your next inhale, sweep the left fingertips up, make space. As you exhale, stretch over to the right side. Maybe the left hand finds the right toes. Just come down to where feels right for you, and then shine your heart up towards the ceiling, feeling or noticing that feeling into the left side of the body. One more deep breath here. And releasing, coming on to the other side. Inhale, sweep the right fingertips up, lift up and out from the waist. Exhale, take a stretch over to the left side. Shine that heart up towards the ceiling, breathing here, allowing the right side of the body to open up. Noticing any little areas of tightness or resistance. As the observer, becoming the observer of your body, your breath, your thoughts. Notice whatever you notice. And release. Come back up to center, keeping the legs in your wide position. Bring your hands to frame your right thigh. And then we're going to see if you can hover that right leg off the mat. So really strong into the hip flexors. Keep breathing. You got this. And release. Well done. Take it onto the other side. If you've got a little bit of cramp, that's okay. That's quite normal for this one. Bring your hands to frame the left thigh. And see if you can lift that, just that left leg. Breathing here. Stay with your breath. And release. Well done. Take a little wiggle through the legs. And bring them back in together. So from here, we're going to come into Navasana boat pose. So lift the toes away from the mat. And then seeing if you can bring your peace fingers around your big toes. Keep the legs bent to begin with, but open the legs out to the side. So we're in almost an upright happy baby here. Whoop. So really finding this balance. Finding that drishti or gazing point, but we're using the core, we're keeping space across the chest. Notice if you're rounding and just try and find that length again. If it doesn't work having the hands wrapped, if we're having the fingers wrapped around the toes, you can always take the hands to a different part of the legs, okay? Option to see if you can lengthen out through your legs here. So now we're in this kind of balance, this straddle balance. And then we're going to give it a go. Take a little rock back. And then see if you can come up to meet back in your straddle balance. If you're rolling all over the place, then just meet back here. It's all part of this practice today. Get a little bit creative. So I want you to take a couple of these and maybe adding in a little bit of your... Maybe you release the hands and you rock back. Maybe you tap the toes back out behind. So again, feel into what feels good for you. Warming up the body. And taking your last one now. And then come back to a cross-legged position on your mat. Float all the way through to all fours. Well done. So that was a different kind of yoga warm-up to what you're maybe used to. So it's good to sometimes challenge the body and challenge the mind as well. Sometimes we feel quite resistance when someone comes in with a different routine, but it's actually really healthy and good to mix that up and challenge it sometimes. So from your all fours position, inhale, lift the gaze, shine the heart forwards. Exhale, round the spine. So moving into some cat and cow now. Opening across the chest. Lifting the tailbone. Exhale, drop the head, tuck the tailbone in. So inhale, lifting the chest. Shining the heart forwards. Exhale, rounding. Last cow and cat. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come back to your all fours position. Walk the hands forwards. As you exhale, keep the elbows tucked in. Lower the chest down to the mat. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Peel the chest away, cobra. So we're going to play with some cobra rolls here. So working with some kind of animalistic yoga movements. So from here, what we're doing is we're grounding into this right hand, rolling to this right side, and then lifting the chest away, bring the left foot down to the ground. Then we roll back to the front, take it over to the other side. So left hand pressed into the ground, rolling over, bending that right knee. So come back to center to the cobra. Press into your right hand, lifting the chest, bending the left leg. And then from here, We're going to take the left hand down, sweep the right arm up, lift up and out from the waist. Exhale, twist, Marichyasana C. Breathing here, taking your gaze over the left shoulder or in that direction. See if you can flex into that right foot, lengthening into the right leg. Well done, release from your twist. Make your way back through your cobra roll over to the other side. So this time we're right legs bent, left legs lengthened. You switch the arms, so right hand's now down to support. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Make space. Exhale, twist to the right. Sending your gaze over your right shoulder. If you lost me, just coming to your Marichyasana C. Right leg bent, left leg lengthened. Breathing here. As you inhale, make space. As you exhale, move into that space you've created. Start to release from your twist. Come back down to your cobra. Press the hands into the mat, tuck the toes under. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Well done. Lifting the hips away from the ribs. Take a little pedal out through the feet. Take a shake or nod through the head. Hopefully feeling nice and warm now. On your next inhale, sweep your right leg up. Find a three-leg dog. Start to draw the right knee to tap the right elbow. Bring it over to tap the left elbow. Back to the right elbow. And then float the right leg back to your three-leg dog. Bring the right leg down. Inhale, sweep the left leg up, three-leg dog. Bring the left knee to tap the left elbow. Bring it over to tap the right elbow. Back to tap the left. And back to your three-leg dog. Well done. Bring the left leg back down to the mat. Inhale, right side, three-leg dog again. Sweep that right leg up. Float the right foot to the outside of the right hand to find an active lizard. Keep your back leg lifted. Breathing here. See if you can hug that right knee in towards the right shoulder. Ground into your left hand. Inhale, sweep the right arm up and over, pivot onto the knife edges of the feet. Revolve Skandasana. Inhale, sweep the right arm up, lift. Exhale, float back down. So we're lifting the hips almost. We're engaging into the left side body as we reach the right arm up. So right arm reaches up. Lift of the hips, lifting up and out through that left shoulder as well. Exhale, sink back down. One more. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, watery, graceful movements back down. Well done. Pivot back to your lizard. Walk your foot in so that it's coming between the hands. Inhale, reach the fingertips up, high lunge. Lift the heart up towards the ceiling. Now floating into our Warrior 3, Vinyasa 3. Breathing here, we're going to take a couple of dips into this right leg. So bending for 1. And back up. Bending for 2. And back up. Bending for 3. And back up, pausing here. See if you can bring your right fingertips down to a block or the mat. Find Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Maybe the gaze comes up towards the ceiling. Breathing here, reconnect with your breath. And then floating the hands down to frame that front foot, step it back to plank. Flow through your vinyasa, inhaling upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale back to your downward facing dog. You can always take a child's pose here if you wish to. So back to our left side. Inhale, sweep the left leg up, find that three-leg dog. Sweep the left foot to the outside of the left hand, left side active lizard, keeping that back leg active. So see if you can bring that left knee to just gently press against the left shoulder. Ground into your right hand, sweep the left fingertips up and over. Pivot onto the knife edges of the feet, revolve Skandasana. And we'll float it here, so inhale, fingertips reach up, lift the hips. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, float up. Exhale, float down. Inhale, float up. Exhale, float down. This time, inhale, float all the way back around to your lizard. Walk the foot in between the hands, knee stacks above the ankle. Inhale, reach the fingertips up, find a high lunge. Lifting up and out from the waist. Ground into your left foot, find your warrior three. Imagine that back heel pressing into something behind, trying to keep the back leg really nice and active. Starting to take our dips on this side for one. So bending into the left leg. For two. And lengthen. For three. And lengthen. Well done. Pausing here. Bring the left fingertips down to the mat. Find your half moon. Breathing. Maybe setting the gaze up towards the ceiling. Well done. And taking a big step back to plank. Flow through your vinyasa. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhaling back to your downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. Press the mat away with your hands. Just reconnecting with your breath here. From here, walk the feet in slightly. Grounding into both hands, we're going to start to take an option for a little kick up to handstand. What you're going to do is take some little hops. So from your almost your downward facing dog position, bending into the legs and then just kicking the heels in towards the hips. Option to take. No, I'm not going to do that. Downward facing dog. We're going to inhale, sweep the right leg up, find another three-leg dog. And then float this right foot to the outside of the left hand. Inhale, reach the left fingertips up, find a fallen triangle. Breathing here. From your fallen triangle, see if you can lower your hips down to the mat so you're in a wide leg straddle position. Inhale, make space. Exhale, fold forwards. On each inhale, think about growing the spine long and on the exhale, softening. Inhale, lift the chest, come away from the fold. Can we make our way back? Bring your right hand back down to the mat. Lift the hips. Bring the left hand down, sweep that right leg back so we're back in a plank position. Exhale, hips come to the sky for downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the left leg up, find three-leg dog. And then float the left foot to the outside of the right hand. Reach the right fingertips up, find your fallen triangle. Breathing here. One of my favorites. Start to float your hips down to the mat from here. So we're in this wide leg position. Inhale, make space, reach the crown of your head upwards. As you exhale, fold forwards. Inhaling and exhaling. Try and keep the thighs facing up towards the ceiling. On your next inhale, coming back up, making our way back. So the left hand's coming back down to the mat on the outside of your left leg. Inhale, reach the right fingertips up, lift the hips. So we're back in that kind of fallen triangle position-ish. Bring the right hand down, step it back, find a downward facing dog. Well done. From here, we're going to inhale, shift the shoulders forwards. Exhale, drop the knees down. Lower down so that you're on your front. Reach the arms by the side of the body. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the legs, lift the arms. Find locust pose. So reaching back with the fingertips. Imagine your fingertips reaching towards that back wall. Breathing here. Staying with your breath. Try and relax the face if you can. Well done. And relax everything. Bring everything back down to your mat. And take a roll over from here. So we're now lying on our back. Bring the soles of your feet down to the mat. We're going to come into a finishing sequence with an option for wheel pose if that's in your practice. So we're going to do 3 rounds. So I'm going to start with bridge, and then for the second 2 rounds work with wheel. But you can, of course, work with whichever versions that you want to work with, okay? So listening to your body, taking what feels good to you. You could be making this into legs up the wall pose. You could be taking a restorative bridge, yeah, if that's what you're feeling for, and using your block. Okay, so see what feels good for you. So if you're coming into bridge to start with me, draw your pelvis up and in towards the body first. Let the lower back connect to your mat. Start to lift the hips away. Keep the head and neck nice and straight. Breathing here. Option to interlace the hands. Roll the shoulders in here if that feels good too. So taking 5 breaths. Well done, and releasing. Bring the spine back down to the mat, maybe taking a little window wipe with the legs from side to side. Coming back to that element of Svadhisthana. Thinking about creativity today, flow. Being able to move fluidly, flow with life. What is your flow with life feeling like right now? Maybe it feels just as it's meant to feel. Maybe there's restrictions or different things you're coming up against. And so we're just observing, making space to observe any of that today. So now options come back to another bridge. Take a restorative bridge, or you could take your wheel. And just taking 5 breaths here. And when you're ready, coming back down, taking a little window wipe with the legs from side to side. And then last round, so again, taking your pose of choice, finding your way there, and then taking 5 breaths. And when you're ready, coming back down, just finding a lying position on your mat now, closing the eyes or taking a steady gaze. Let your arms come out to the side, let your feet drop out. Taking reconstructive rest position if that feels good too, so you could have the legs bent, stepping the feet to the outside edges of the mat and letting the knees drop in together. And as you inhale, I want you to imagine your belly expanding with your breath, like a balloon filling up with air. And as you exhale, let the belly draw back in. So inhale, belly's expanding with the breath. And exhale, belly's drawing back in. Notice any sensations in the body, any little tingling or energy. Notice any thoughts passing through the mind, letting them come and go. Gently breathing into the belly. And of course, staying here for longer, if you have a little bit of time to take a longer Shavasana, I definitely recommend that you do so. But otherwise, keeping the eyes closed if you can, and really try and feel your way back up to seated. So keeping the eyes closed, rolling over maybe to one side, and then using your hands and your senses to guide you back to a seated position on your mat. And then having the fingertips connected with the ground, with the earth. We'll take a final grounding breath to close off the practice. So inhale, draw that energy up from the ground into the body, up to the heart center. And exhale, imagine releasing that energy all the way back to down to the ground. Opening the eyes back up when you're ready. Just taking a steady gaze. Thank you so much for joining me for that practice. I hope you enjoyed the creativity, and I hope maybe you added in a little bit of creativity of your own as well. Do comment and feedback to me on how you've got on. And yeah, I can't wait to see you again for another flow, hopefully really soon. Do subscribe if you haven't already, it's totally free. And yeah, all the feedback and comments and subscribes or likes, it all really helps me to continue to make more of these flows for you on here. So yeah, thank you so much, and can't wait to see you again soon. Take care, bye bye.